Okay guys, so I'm out in the backyard. It's gotten a little hotter than I wanted it to get before I started doing this, but I kind of got pulled in a couple different ways. However, I'm gonna go ahead and do it so I can get it done and get done with it. So this morning I am going to go ahead and plant some tomatoes. So I have some Better Boys, and I think I have some Big Boys. I'll let you know the name of them for sure. But these are the containers that I'm going to plant them in. I actually got, if you're looking for like really big containers or tubs to use, I actually got these from my dad, who he has cattle, and I guess he gets like some type of mineral or something in them for the cows. And then after that, they're just sitting at the barn, and so he'll use them for certain things. But I always snag me a couple, as you can see, and last year I snagged quite a few, the blue ones too. But they work great for planting things like tomatoes and potatoes, anything that kind of has to have a lot of root space. They work great for. So what I'm going to do, I have them turned upside down right now because I'm going to drill some holes in them so the water can drain out, so we can have some good drainage. And so there's my drill. I have some fertilizer I'm going to put in the bottom of them too. But this year in the bottom all of them, I'm putting some, we purchased this sawdust. It's sawdust, and it also has some dirt in it from a gentleman down the street. We got 2 truckloads, and he was selling it a scoop for $5, so we invested $20. And so I'm gonna put this in the bottom of all my buckets, so I don't, and you can see we have them around our fruit trees too, but so I don't have to fill it up with dirt, because that's a lot of potting soil and potting mix. So I have these already done, and these were used last year, so I don't have to worry about holes in them. And these pots I actually bought. I'm going to put the smaller variety of tomatoes in these on this side. So I have 6 of each variety that I'm going to plant. I am going to put a little bit of we compost, so a lot of this is compost. So I'm going to put a little bit of our compost in it. And I also have some potting soil that I like to use, but I'll come back and I'll show you guys that. Let me go ahead and get the holes drilled, and then we'll go from there. Myrtles, and those are hostas planted in the front. They've been there about 2 years, so they're not fully mature yet, but they're getting there. Okay, take a walk with me. Let's go back to where we were with the getting ready for the tomatoes. So I have holes in all of the containers, as you can see. What I did was I set out both of these drill bits so you could see which one is going to work the best. I had this one that was already connected to the drill. I guess I had used it previously for something before, but it did not work well with these plastic tubs. So I went in my dad's toolbox and I found this one. I guess that's a wood drill bit, I don't know, but it works the best. Like, I was able to drill all these buckets in less than 5 minutes. So use that one if you can, if you have one of those. I have a 20-volt lithium, I think this is a Craftsman, maybe not, no, Porter-Cable drill that I'm using to do this. So like I said, this one's already done. I'm going to fill up the rest of them, and then we're going to come back and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the tomatoes, how we're going to plant them. This is I used this last year and it was very successful for me, but it's Jungle Growth, and I got it from Lowe's. I get it from Lowe's every year. They have it in small bags too. This is 2 cubic feet, I believe. They sell 1 cubic feet bags, but it's less expensive to get it in the bigger bags if you can handle it. And it's like $8 a bag. So I think we have 4 bags that I'm going to use to fill up those containers with, along with some compost that I have, and then I'll come back and show you guys when I get ready to plant the tomatoes. Okay everyone, we're back. So I have all the containers filled up. So basically what I did is I just took a shovel and I put it in a 5-gallon bucket, put the sawdust in a 5-gallon bucket, and I just walked back and forth till they were all filled. So it's about 10 gallons of sawdust in each one of these. Maybe a little bit more, but this is about the level that I wanted at. This is the first year that I'm gonna try using sawdust at the bottom and then soil at the top, but we're gonna see how it does. Some people actually just plant their tomatoes straight into wood chips and sawdust. I actually think I will do one plant like that just to see how it happens, what happens. So next, what I'm gonna do is open the Jungle Grow and top off each container, mix in a little bit of fertilizer, and then we're gonna plant the tomatoes. All right, we'll be back in just a second. Okay guys, it's time to plant our tomato plants. We have 6 plants of each variety. The first variety is a Better Boy. Both of these varieties are indeterminate. So what that means is they will not get to a certain height and stop growing. As long as we feed them and the conditions are proper, they'll grow as tall as they possibly can, and produce as much as they possibly can before they die, before conditions turn or they get disease, whichever one comes first. But this is a Better Boy, so we're gonna plant this in full sun. At least 6 hours a day it needs sun. And they want us to plant 2/3 of the plant in the ground. So I will plant the plant in the ground, the tomato plant in the ground, to about that point, and this will all be what's standing left standing, or left out of the ground, and then the rest will be in the ground, and actually it'll anchor the plant and become roots. Same thing with this one. Let's see. This variety is Big Boy. Indeterminate, same, you can see that. We're going to plant these 2/3 of the plant in the ground, full sun. It's a hybrid tomato, Bonnie Plants. Got these from Lowe's. So we're going to go ahead and get these planted. I've had them for, I think, over 2 weeks in these little containers, so I hope they make it. But I will come back and show you once I get them in the pots. Okay guys, we are back, and I have all of the wood chips at the bottom. I have all of the potting soil at the top, and then we have the tomatoes right in the middle of the mix. They are planted, some of them are planted about 2/3 of the pot. I tried to get it the closest I could, but they're in there. They're all watered in. The ones in our bigger pots, these are Big Boys, so I have them here. You can see they're in the full sun today. It's about, I would say probably about 1 o'clock. And so they're getting full sun. This is a pear tree we have. And then these are the Better Boys here. But you can see they're all planted as well. They're all watered in. Fertilizer is in each container. So we're just waiting for them to take off. Now I do have 2 that I decided, yeah, these are Big Boys and those are Better Boys. I just want to make sure I didn't say the same thing. Okay, so these are 2 that I kept out. They're not in large containers. They're just in some large flower pots that I found. Big Boy and Better Boy. There's no soil in here. The only thing that I'm going to test these in is these wood shavings. I just put them in there, took them out of the little potting crates they were in, dug a hole, stuck them in there. I'm going to water these in, put them in the sun, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if one does better than the other, or if they do about the same, or if these die. But I'll keep you guys updated. Okay guys, so like I said, I will keep you updated on what happens with our tomato plants, our Big Boy and our Better Boy. So stay tuned for the progress on our tomato plants.